Would you kindly turn away if you haven't played the original Bioshock? But why the hell have you not played the original Bioshock yet?
Hiya, Georgie. You're looking for me.
Welcome back to Villain Review episode 46. Today we'll be looking at Frank Fontaine from the 2007 game Bioshock. I'm going to be breaking him down to find out how good of a villain he really is. Let's get into it.
You've been a pal, but you know what they say? Never mix business with friendship.
For most of his life, Frank Fontaine had always kind of been a criminal. Specializing in smuggling goods into the underwater city of Rapture, Frank slowly became one of the biggest crime bosses in the city. Going on to butt heads with the city's founder, Andrew Ryan, the two would become heated rivals, and they'd be fighting for power all the time. So Frank's origin and motive is kind of whatever for me, because yeah, he's just another power-hungry villain, but I mean, at least they try to give a reason for it. They try to emphasize that crime has always kind of been a part of him, and that's just who he is. He's on that grind. He's after that Bitcoin. The motive is old, and it's been played out a million times, and the reason they give is kind of whatever for me, but I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. It could have been done better, and I wish it was, but it's not really anything terrible either.
I know you must feel like the unluckiest man in the world right now, but you're the only hope I'll ever see my wife and child again.
At the core of Frank Fontaine's character, we find a con man, a man who loves to manipulate people, and we see this all the time. The best example of this in the story is obviously the brainwashing he does with the protagonist of the game, Jack. And as cool as the brainwashing is, I'm kind of curious though as to why he had to use the Irish accent. Like, Jack's already gonna do whatever you want. Why even bother? Mr. Fontaine, I must report that the trigger phase is going to work perfectly to get the subject to do whatever you want. Perfect. Together with me and the kid, we are gonna run Rapture into the ground. Rapture is gonna be my frickin'... one slight problem, though, is that you have to speak it in Irish accent for it to work. Wait, what? An Irish accent, you says? Yes, if you want it to work, that is what you must do. I can't do that. What, you want me to sound like frickin' Harry Potter? Well, that's not an Irish accent. Alright, let me try. Nobody takes my lucky charms. How was that? Bad. Alright, one more time. You're a frickin' wizard, Harry. Again, that's British. You know nothing, Jon frickin' Snow. Yeah, we're gonna need to work on that. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think Frank Fontaine has a ton of character, but luckily, his alter ego Atlas does. Because Atlas has so much personality, it makes me look at Frank a little different, and it makes me give him more credit in this category. They also mentioned that the reason Frank is such a good actor is because he spent a lot of his time in his youth surrounded by them. I really like this detail, and it goes to show that Frank's not dumb and that he actually learns from his environment and applies it to his situation to get better at what he does. So when it comes to character, I actually look back at Frank Fontaine and I'm pretty happy with it.
But still, now as soon as that machine finishes processing the genetic key you just fished off Ryan, I'm gonna run Rapture tits to toes.
This category is very complicated for Frank because we really only see him 2 or 3 times in the game. Of course, we get audio logs to fill us in, but Frank, especially Atlas, seems like a character we need to see in person. It's a problem I have for sure, and I really wish we could have seen him more. Because like with Atlas, if we saw him more, we could have gotten closer to him and it would have made the twist even better. We would have really felt it. Outside of that though, Frank has some really good audio logs. I mean, you can't really call them scenes. Atlas is always interesting and fun to listen to, and the actor Greg Baldwin does a really good job. However, there's one scene at the end of the game that is so good, we don't even need to see Frank. He doesn't even need to be there. And that scene is obviously the twist reveal, Would You Kindly?
Would you kindly? Powerful phrase. Familiar phrase.
Would you kindly? Would you kindly get this? Would you kindly find that? Would you kindly find that?
This scene is one of the best twists in video games, maybe honestly one of the best twists in like any medium. It's that good. The setup is beautiful, and in this moment we learn so much more about Frank as he reveals his true motives. It's a great scene, and it almost makes you forget that you've only seen this guy like twice in the game. It is so good. It's a scene I look up all the time on YouTube. Fantastic scene.
Would you kindly get this? Would you kindly head to Ryan's office and kill the son of a bitch?
I gotta say, I had a lot of business partners in my life, but you...
Frank Fontaine has an origin and motive that's a little basic in my opinion. Just like last week, I'm really not buying the whole excuse for his power-hungry motive, but I mean, it is what it is. As far as character goes though, there's so much to like and there's not too much to really dislike. I have some gripes, but it's not really that big a deal. And while we don't really see him that much, Frank is almost always interesting to listen to and gives us one of the best scenes in video game history. I'm gonna give Frank Fontaine a 7.
Sent you topside. I called you back, showed you what you was capable of.
Would you kindly hit that subscribe button? We are almost at 70 subscribers, so what are y'all even doing? Comment below who I should review next. Listen guys, give me a real good villain. Give me a 10 out of 10 villain. Like this video, watch another villain review. They come out every Monday. I'll see you next time.